Good morning once again, dear students. You have been provided already with the fifth lecture. You have been already provided with fifth lecture, which is called the topic of your lecture was non-Germanic languages, yes? And your last lecture, which you have been provided with presently, of course, was East Germanic languages also. And of course, for today's our lesson, our seminar class, we're going to revise, first of all, your the previous one, the non-Germanic languages, about the key features, about some moments, yeah, about the period of classifying Germanic language to the north and east. And of course, we will revise a little about East Germanic languages also. So, for today's lesson, for this seminar class, as we decide with you, we will divide into some themes, yeah? For today's seminar class, you have been invited into two themes, yeah? The first and third themes. And now you're going to perform your presentations, your work, and of course, after your presentation part, we will discuss some questions in order to enhance strengths you're getting knowledge, yeah, from the North Germanic languages. Okay, now you're welcome. The first thing.
First thing?
Yes, first thing. Which is yours? You have to slide in order to move to the next slide, okay? Like this. Okay, you're welcome. So, please, dear audience, listen attentively. Some moments, of course, it's revising, you know, the key features about the first and second plan of our lecture, North Germanic language, but in any way, of course, we have to enhance and also we have to be attentive to some key features and moments in order to be able to answer to the questions which will be after the presentation of the first theme, okay? So, you're welcome.
So, hello everybody. I hope you are doing well. So, this is first theme and we are going to present the topic North Germanic language. So, can you please start? Yes, introduction, the North Germanic subgroup. So, North Germanic languages, sometimes referred to as Nordic or Scandinavian languages, are vibrant and historically rich families spoken primarily in Northern Europe. This subgroup includes modern languages such as Swedish, Danish, Norwegian, Icelandic, and Faroese. These languages evolved from Old Norse, the language of the Vikings, which was spoken throughout Scandinavia and parts of the British Isles over 1,000 years ago. Over time, due to geographic, political, and cultural shifts, Old Norse branched out into several distinct languages, some mutually intelligible to theirs, others more isolated. One of the most interesting aspects of the North Germanic language is their shared history, and yes, it's their shared history. So during the following slides, my roommates will explain the topic.
Okay, next page is prototype relates to writing. Yes? First of all, to start our presentation, I'm gonna ask you some question. What do you know about writing? What is writing?
It's a past.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever seen? What do you know about writing?
Reply to each other. I mean, other track.
Yes. And what do you say about this picture? How can you describe this one? Okay. Strong, of course. Any idea? Maybe handsome. Okay. What about French? What do you think?
Very interesting.
Okay.
Sonra veriyoruz like.
Okay.
So he represents the old knights.
Yeah.
Very strong and masculine.
Yes, of course. And also, according to the history, they were described as messy and argumentative and also sneaky because they always try to fighting and try to just find another country or another place which are so interesting for them. Even other tribes try not to fight, they always try to fight and try to own their country. So that's why now I'm going to describe about working. Since our topic is related to this one. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about disintegration of Viking Age. There was some explanation about this because now we're talking about social and cultural transformation during the Viking Age. Okay.
Bundan Suriye.
Bu tamam mı?
Yok. Sonuçta slide.
All this level? Keys.
Slides.
Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the
Yok.
Okay.
Well, go on.
Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the cause of disintegration. Do you have any idea about disintegration? What is disintegration?
Like this.
It was
Okay. For the people who don't know about disintegration, it's kind of argument and kind of fighting. It's synonym of that kind of thing. The disintegration of established political structure during the Viking Age can be attributed to various factors, which includes internal strife, economic instability, and external pressure from Viking race that uncivilized, excited governance. The political fragmentation allowed for the rise of new regional powers, often led by local warlords of chieftains. Okay, there is some kind of fightings and just kind of disagreement was added because of political structures, just like including internal strife, economic instability, and external pressure. And that kind of thing will be happened during the Viking Age, and it will give its own influence, own effect for the Viking disintegration. And the language was erased it and also created also some kind of disappear because of that one, and now it's turned to
Impact of Viking invasions.
impact of Viking invasions. The Viking invasions significantly altered the social and cultural landscape of Europe. Not only did they lead to the loss of territories and wealth for many kingdoms, but they also facilitated the exchange of ideas and technologies between cultures. The invasions resulted in the establishment of new trade, roads, and settlements, which contribute to cultural hybridization.
Cultural shifts. Cultural shifts during the era. The Viking Age was marked by significant cultural shifts that reshaped societies across Europe. The interactions between Norse traders, warriors, and local populations led to a rich exchange of ideas, traditions, and practices. This blending included the adoption of various artistic styles, advancements in shipbuilding, and the integration of Norse mythology into local culture. The influence of the Vikings also permeated religious practices and as the spread of Christianity over traditional beliefs.
So now about linguistic and political divisions. Um, Evolution of the language, it's like especially about the Viking languages. The Viking Age prompted considerable linguistic change due to the interactions between different groups. Norse languages influenced the development of English, particularly in the vocabulary and grammar. Because of their interaction between each tribes, they found new ways of speaking, new ways of expressing their language. These changes, as he written, these changes were driven by the establishment of trade routes and settlement patterns where languages began to blend and evolve, reflecting the diverse backgrounds of the populations in contrast with one another. So the next page is about the emergence of distinct regions. During the Viking Age, political divisions became more prominent, leading to the emergence of distinct regions in Northern Europe. These divisions were influenced by a combination of geographical, cultural, and linguistic factors as various groups moved in different ways. While the conflict and competitions for control over the territory contributed to the consolidation of power in specific regions, laying the groundwork for modern nation states.
Influence of politics on language. Political power dynamics during the Viking Age also had profound effects on language development, as new rulers emerged and existing kingdoms adapted to changing power structures. Official language began to reflect the authority of dominant groups. This political influence reinforced linguistic divisions, with certain languages gaining prestige and others being marginalized. Over time, these political boundaries contributed to the diversification of language in Europe.
Conclusion. The Viking Age not only transformed
the political landscape of Europe, but also initiated significant cultural and linguistic shifts. The interplay between this integration, innovations, and the immigrants of distinct regions underlines the complexity of this historical period. To overview, learning about them helps us to understand how modern European countries and languages developed.
And also, I'm gonna add some fun facts. According to the history, Vikings are so busy and they are doing everything in orderly. But as we know, I mean, as scientists know, as archaeologists know, they found more broom tools as a history of Viking. They always try to have a bath one in a week. It is same more than Europeans. In that case, they are not mystics. They just look like mystics because they imitate animals, which can give scary fear for the enemy. That is why it's fun fact for you. And also, we have a question also. And now we will continue our tour. Can you move? Oh no, there is not.
Are your questions not from those questions which you sent to Southern Group?
Yeah.
The same? Okay. I say it would be better to organize in a platform these STEM activities, okay? So now we have to divide into two teams. Of course, we can divide. I will be your assistant.
Okay. İşte. Şimdi. Bunları belirlemek için. Aha. Tamam. Navruz. Burada saksı, burada ortadan vursa ilk oraya.
I have to speak in English. Don't forget to use our language.
Okay. Okay, let's start our game. Give me this one. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Okay. What's your first group? Can you give your name? Group name? Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Oh.
The ice cream.
Ice cream. Okay. Now I'm gonna put just like this. Dinosaurs. Ice cream.
It looks like a fox here.
Okay. He's good too. Okay. Now, the structure of game will continue as a first group. Okay, I'm gonna start. Question. Okay.
We'll try from this one.
Okay. Now we will play just hook attention, okay? I think everyone know about it. Just one, I do clap. You just clap. I always try to lie you. You must be very careful, okay? Okay, please. Attention. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Who lose your attention will be okay. Eliminated. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you do this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you do this. Okay, attention. 1, 2.
Okay.
Look at it. Okay. One, two, three. You just okay. Okay. Okay, you just that's cute. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Who else? Okay. You say
Yine bulaşmadı rapor.
oynama. Okay. Okay. It's time to finish.
Eminim gözü kartı arkadaşlar.
Okay.
Bunlar dışarıdan.
Okay, you're so strong. Okay. The winner of our game, Pakizahon and Shnuda. Thank you for all of you who are attending this game. It's time to question. Okay. Both group are ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now it's time to team activity. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Despite of all technical problems, we have to organize our team activity manually. Yeah, of course. Thank you, Sharon. Okay. Now representatives from team number 3 created.
You can open my telegram here.
Like, we can open the telegram here.
Telegram?
Yeah, my telegram here.
No, we have to join, connect our activities on the platform. Now I tried, but it was unable to connect. So that's why. Okay, so yeah. The platform, you know, yeah, how it will be. In this hidden cards, of course, we have approximately 6-7 questions from their part, from phase 3. And also enhance in order to check how, let's say, you consolidate the initial knowledge from the lecture and also from today's perform. We will check, of course, your knowledge. So, okay, as you know, we have to be divided into 2 teams in order to play this game. So, just now, in a quick way, we have to divide into 2 teams. So, group number, team number 3, can you raise your hands? You will be not a player, yeah, of course. Because you know already answers. Yeah, already answers, and that's why, yeah. Okay. Who are in the game? Can you raise your hands? In a game. In a game. Okay. Okay. Raise your hands, raise your hands. Okay, from the middle. From the middle, you are team number 2. Okay, girls, 3 girls from team number 2. 3 girls from the middle, you are Group number 1, okay? Team number 1. So, let's start. Team number 1. Choose your card, choose your number. 7, okay. We will open the card. Okay, the question. So, who knows the answer from team number 3, please? Okay, try and answer. How? What larger language family do the non-Germanic languages belong to?
In the European family. In the European language family.
Okay, let it be. This is your last answer, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think yeah. It's a major language family which is called the Indo-European. Okay.
Okay. Let's put my
Mhm. If you want, of course, yeah. Please. So now team number 2.
10.
10. Okay. Okay. Why did one Viking leader create his own dialect? Why? One of the Viking leaders create his own dialect. What do you think? Okay.
No one argue with him, and because they knew what he said.
Okay. Okay. Let's check. Thank you for your possible answer. Yeah. So no one could argue with him because no one knew what he was saying. Okay. Okay. Like the rule was because we are good numbers. Okay. Team number 1. Your turn.
It's 5.
5. Okay. Let's open the card. So, why did Old Norse stop texting Latin back? Old Norse is a language, yeah, from the centuries from 8th to 7th, 13th. Stop texting Latin back.
Because there were a lot of ignorance
Okay.
from them and a lot of errors.
Okay.
After American syntax down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course, we can fulfill the answer if you want. Mm-hmm. Let's check. Okay, too many syntax errors and hosting after the Roman Empire crumbled. Okay. So nice. Okay, team number 2, 9. So let's open. Okay, the question. How did linguistic differentiation cause political division? How? Yes, the question was how did linguistic differentiation cause political divisions? How? In what ways maybe? What was the trigger to start the political division?
Because everyone argued with each other over how to pronounce potato.
Okay, we have a specific answer, yeah. Let's check that. Because everyone started arguing over how to pronounce the word potato. Okay, okay. Nice. What's in number 1? Wait.
First.
Okay. So, what's the Vikings' favorite form of government? The favorite form of government of the Vikings. The form of government.
Maybe you would,
Yeah, of course.
writing your neighbors and good ocracy. Yes, good ocracy. Then you would writing your neighbors.
Plutocracy, you work by rating your neighbors. Yes. Okay. Two or six. Two? Okay. What happened when the Anglo-Saxons and Norse tried to collaborate? What happened when the Anglo-Saxons and Norse tried to collaborate?
1.
They formed a band called Sons of Disintegration, but broke up after grammar
Okay, let's check.
and they corrected grammar rules.
They formed a band called Sons of Disintegration, but broke up after a grammar fight. Okay. Someone? You're welcome. Four? Almost. Tim, two. Three. Also ones. Tim, one. Six is yours, yeah? Okay, also ones. Last is you. Same question. Which countries primarily speak North-Germanic language today? Which countries still speak North-Germanic?
Denmark, Icelandic, and Norway. Yes.
Sweden, Denmark.
Denmark, Norway,
Danish is language, Denmark is country. Denmark, Sweden,
Norway,
Norway, Norway. Okay, let's check. If calculating your versions are there, we will accept. Even one of them. Yes, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, all of them, of course. Okay. How?
We won 2 bonus.
We will discuss it. We will discuss it.
It's time to recommend
Okay, all this one. So I have to say, of course, for instance, the opponent teams, of course, can be not, let's say, angry of the presentation of the platforms. So in this way, I want to be thankful, of course, for today's great seminar class to both teams and also all of the participants, Team 2 and Team 4 also. Of course, we will wait your performance in the next seminar classes. Somehow, of course, we did, let's say, completed, of course, the revision of the 5th lecture, which is called Germanic language, and it's classified into subgroups. And I have to, of course, to give some words like a feedback, of course, to those students who participate today well and also who performed in the teams. Yeah. First of all, first teams and third teams about the presentation. Of course, it was excellent. About the design, about the giving, for instance, the way of giving information from the key features and moments of the plans, of course, to both teams, of course, thanks. And one thing as a recommendation, of course, because we cannot call it like a minute, but we can give some recommendations. When designing some presentations, let's say slides, there are, I say, for instance, some spaces or blanks, just for instance, strokes in the words, for instance. In this case, some technical problems, of course. I think in advance, you will, of course, tackle this kind of technical problems. But overall, of course, it was in a proper way. So, what about organizing team activities and games? Of course, both teams were active. For instance, in the first team, also when observed that they use some kind of brainstorm techniques, how to, for instance, trigger to both teams to be questioned or to answer to be answered to questions which were given from the representatives of the teams. And also, I noticed from this team and from the previous also some warm-up activities also, and also organizing team activities. So, what about questions? Of course, questions were topic related and able to trigger to be participated well in both, for instance, teams and their audiences. Okay, I think it's high time, yeah.
Yes.
So in order to revise, of course, our in advance next upcoming lectures, I will recommend you to revise and to also to make some questions from the last lecture, which is called sixth lecture, East Germanic language. I think due to lack of time, of course, we we haven't able today to revise this lecture, but I believe at home, from your notes, from your lecture notes, from the presentation form of lecture, of course you will take some notes, some key notes, and also you will make some questions as today's and we will revise and we will enhance our knowledge in the next upcoming seminar class. Okay, for the next lecture, will be responsible. They remain two teams, second and fourth. Yes? Okay, thank you. Claps for today's seminar class to you. Just a word today. Excellent, of course, you, all of you individually. Okay, thank you. So now will be time for assessment and checking your attendance. I will end up our streaming.